All right, athletes, coming at you today on my walk into the park to my my outdoor office. And I got this big long road that I got to walk down, and then it even keeps going. Like, it's really long, so they've got it gated off at the road, and it doesn't open until they don't open the gate until 10, 11 o'clock. So it's kind of like it's early, so it's all mine. I get to come in here and have the whole place to myself. It's so cool. So anyways, I want to come at you today because I want to talk a little bit about transformation. So transformation, if you're here with me, you're probably a guy that wants to get in better shape, take better care of themselves so that you can look better, right? You can look in the mirror and you can go, yes, right? You can go to the beach, you can take your shirt off and go, I'm good. Like, I feel good. Like, I feel like that guy that takes good care of himself. You want to be, maybe you want to be in better shape. Maybe you want to have more strength and more conditioning in your life so that you can go out and enjoy life a little bit more, right? Because when we're strong, when we're well conditioned, I believe it creates a lot more opportunity in someone's life, right? We can do more stuff. For an example, I had a friend of mine ask me to do a Spartan race. I've done a couple of them this year, and I hadn't done one in a very long time. And it was a 10K, and I'm not a big runner. Like, I don't run a lot. I do occasionally, but not a lot. But I've got so much conditioning that I've built up over the years that I'm like, I'm always going to say yes. Like, there's pretty much nothing that I would say no to when it comes to some sort of a physical task. Maybe like an Ironman or something I couldn't do sort of off the cuff, but just about everything, I'm like, yeah, let's do it, right? And this is sort of one of the opportunities. I've taken up surfing this year. I've done a couple of Spartan races. These are kind of newish things for me that I've never done before. And I've just really embraced. And it was never a question of, can I do it? It was just a question of, do I want to do it? And if I want to do it, I do it. So maybe you want to get, maybe you just don't have a lot of energy, right? Maybe you're working a ton of hours, and maybe you get home at the end of the night and you're tired, you're exhausted. And then you find yourself just kind of, you eat dinner and then you sit around and the night just kind of disappears. It's gone. And that's your most valuable asset, is your time, right? So if you're just sitting there surfing the web or watching TV or whatever it is, right, then your days just kind of run together, right? Because you miss that evening, and then the next day comes up and you work again, and then you miss another evening. And this is a cycle that a lot of us get into. And usually it's associated with accumulated body fat, right? Poor fitness, all these things. So, we want to, if you want more energy, if you want to feel better, if you want to take advantage of the time that you have left on this planet, and the clock is ticking, that's really key. The clock is ticking, then look, man, we got to get this figured out, right? We got to do this thing. So what is it that we got to do? Well, it's not just joining a gym. It's not just getting your nutrition dialed in. It's not just sleeping better at night. It's not just having more motivation or getting more inspiration from watching David Goggin videos, or watching me. It's actually kind of all of the above. We've got to kind of pull all of this together to change your life, right? Transformation is kind of the key here. There's a lot of programs and diets and, gyms and things that you can do, which are sort of selective, small little pieces to the equation, but they're not going to create a transformation, right? In order to really create a transformation, it takes a little bit more. And it first starts with just a mindset shift. And the mindset shift a lot of times is like, enough is enough. Like, I can't be this person anymore. Like, I have to change. I have to make a significant change. And if you go into this whole process, if you go into this thing with this real deep sense of, I need to change my life, instead of, here's what the common thing is, instead of, I just need to lose 20 pounds. Because if you go into this whole thing with just I need to lose 20 pounds, and that's going to cure all my issues, then what do? Maybe you jump on a diet, right? But then you're solving a 20-pound problem, but you're not making any transformation. You haven't changed yourself. You haven't done the hard work. The hard work is done here. The hard work is really committing to becoming a new version of yourself, a better version of yourself, right? Because if you're not happy with the person you are right now, if you're not happy with the version of your life that's showing up, guess whose responsibility is to change it? It's yours. Like, you have to take ownership of that. And you have to think sort of bigger, right? It's not just a symptom solution. It's a bigger thing. We're talking about your health. We're talking about your well-being. We're talking about your confidence levels. We're talking about your ability to show up in this world as the best version of yourself, to have a greater impact, right? These are much bigger things than just 20 pounds, you know? It's easy to get someone to lose 20 pounds. I could just starve you to death and you lose 20 pounds. But it's much harder to really embrace this idea of, look, I'm going to become a different person. I'm going to live, and I call it the athlete life. The athlete life is just guys over the age of 40 who decided that they're going to make a lot of really good decisions around their health and well-being. And then what happens? Like, if we do that consistently, like if we build that mindset, if we build that sort of athlete identity within us, if we become that version of ourselves and you make a lot of really good decisions, what are the symptoms of that? What are the outcomes of that mindset and of those actions? You guessed it. You start looking in the mirror and going, hey, check that out. You can go to the beach and be like, honey, I'm going to take my shirt off. Contain yourself. Right? You take your shirt off and you feel good, right? Like you can go do things, you know, your kid's like, let's go play basketball. And you go out and then you end up, you're like, what's, you know, you're out there longer than your kids because you've outlasted them. And your kid's like, I'm tired. I got to take a break. And you're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like twice your age. Come on, man, let's go, you know? So it's a different life, you know, and if you're willing, if it's important enough to you, you'll figure it out, but make sure you got the right mindset. You know, I talk to so many guys. I've literally talked to hundreds of guys on the phone, all with similar symptoms, right? They all have this symptom of, I got to lose some weight. I just got to lose some weight. I'm like, okay, great. Well, you could just stop eating and you'll lose the weight, you know, but it's more than that, right? It's more than that. We have to really embrace a transformation. But, you know, the thing is they're looking for the best diet. They're looking for the best exercise program, right? And it's very like symptom solution based. Again, get out of that mindset. Anytime you're researching, if you're trying to make a change in your life, anytime you're researching things, and I believe like you've got to do some research, right? That's probably why you're here with me now, is you're trying to figure out, what is this guy all about, you know? So you've got to do some of that. But whenever you're going to embark on some sort of a process, whenever you're going to embark on some sort of a strategy or a tactic, make sure it's something that you're looking at from a long game lens. I just recently talked to a gentleman. He's like, yeah, you know, I've been trying all these things. I did keto and, you know, it kind of worked. And then I got off keto and then I gained a bunch of weight. And now I'm looking at carb cycling. I might start doing some carb cycling. And I'm just thinking, you know, I want to be nice. Like, I'm not going to be like, you know, yeah, you're messing that all up. But look, the truth is, it's not going to be sustainable, right? So just like the keto diet wasn't sustainable, what makes you think that carb cycling, which is like, it's a mess, you know, it's a mess. What makes you think you're going to carb cycle for the rest of your life? You know, it's the wrong approach. And people are going to be like, oh my God, you know, but I've seen so many results carb cycling. Let's talk in 10 years. And I know this because I've been able to, and this is not to brag, but just to share, I've been able to maintain a 10% or less body fat, a tremendous amount of strength. And like I'm 46, and I've done this for almost 20 years. And even my fittest friends today are like, really, dude? You know, because I can't think of a single person that has been as steady as I have as far as like body weight goes, health, energy levels. Like, I've been so consistent for so long, and I don't do any of the things that the experts would want me to do. I don't count my calories. I don't track my macros. I don't look at food labels. I don't do any of that stuff. None of it. I don't take testosterone. People think I'm on testosterone therapy. People think I'm on some weird supplement regimen. I don't even take supplements. I don't do any of that stuff because those are just short duration, short term, for the most part, solutions. You need to come up with something that's going to be long game, right? And all the people that were fitter than me and more ripped than me and super, super healthy 15 years ago that I was looking up to are now the people who are overweight and out of shape and like looking at me going, I don't know how you did it, man, but well done. And I'm like, this game is one long, right? It's one long. It's not, we have to remove ourselves from the flash in the pan mindset, which is what the industry wants us to think. The industry wants us buying the carb cycling program. It wants us to buy the gym membership. It wants us, it's very short term. And people pay for speed, and I get that. But the problem is health, fitness, nutrition, your health, your physiology doesn't respond well to fast solutions, right? Everybody's like, I should be able to lose 2 pounds a week. Well, maybe, but it might be even better and even more sustainable if it's slower. And I hate that. I would legitimately, from a business standpoint, it's really hard for me to sell slower is better. I call it the sexiness of slow though. Like if you're willing to really invest in this and really like change your life, you have to have a little bit slower of a mindset. Again, the speedy stuff is kind of sexy and kind of fun on the front, and a lot of businesses, a lot of health, fitness, nutrition businesses, they'll sell these plans. They'll get somebody to lose 30 pounds in a month, right? And then they'll take before and after pictures, of course, and they'll celebrate, you lost 30 pounds, you're amazing, you're so awesome, we're gonna feature you on the front page of the magazine, and it's gonna be like this really good thing. And then it's like, okay, good luck, rock on. And maybe you hold on to it for a little while, then the old habit starts to creep in because you've never really done the hard work, you've never really changed who you are as a person. And then what happens? Starts coming back. And the guy like me is like, hey, I've been doing this forever. And I didn't do any of the crazy stuff you were doing. And it's been 20 years for me, and I'm kind of shaking my head going, I don't get, why is nobody else doing what I'm doing? Literally no, except for the people that I teach and that I work with. Nobody's done what I do. I can't find them unless I have some connection with them and I've been able to have some sort of an influence on them. I can't find these people. They haven't figured this out. And I'm like, man, it works 100% of the time. But again, it takes a transformation. I'm not saying it's easy. It's easy in concept. It's easy in design, but I shouldn't say easy. It's simple. The concepts are simple. The strategies are simple. It's almost stupid simple. Because for me, it's got to be stupid simple. Otherwise I won't do it. I'm a simple guy. I'm always looking for the simplest solution that gives you the biggest bang for your buck, right? Simplicity is key for sustainability. So that's what I'm chasing. But, it's not easy, because again, it takes a shift of mindset. But when you're willing to really dig deep into yourself and why it's important to you and how you want to live, right? How you want to live this life, this one chance that you get on this planet, when you really dig into that, and that's been my sort of my anchor. It's what keeps me going every single day. Is this is who I want to become, and it's who I've become, right? And now when I go to a birthday party and there's cake and I say no to cake, I'm good. And people are like, Tony doesn't like cake, and I'm like, no, I love cake, but you don't understand. The person who I am, it's incongruent with my values and my beliefs, and it doesn't work for me. It's not right. And it's not even to say that I never eat cake, but for me to say no makes much more sense to me and my beliefs than it does to say yes, right? Because I have something stronger anchoring me. I make a lot of really good decisions, not 100% of the time, and that's not the goal. The goal is not to be perfect, because I believe nobody can be perfect, not 100% of the time, at least not for the long duration. So we have to allow ourselves some imperfections, of course, but the goal is, again, to make more good decisions than bad decisions, to change who you are as a person. So if I say yes to cake, it's completely outside of my normal. Every once in a while, though, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have it, but I show up powerfully because I'm like, I'm going to be fine because tomorrow is going to be perfect. It's going to be great. I'm not even going to beat myself up. There is no self-loathing, none, zero, because I know who I am. I've decided to build this version of myself because, man, it's worth it. You get one chance. And look, when you're fit and you're healthy and you're energetic and you feel amazing and you're optimistic and you've got great thoughts in your head and you want to be impactful and you want to change the world and you want to do things and you want to be of value, you have to take care of yourself. You've got to step up and you've got to take care of yourself, because if you're not, you're not giving your best. You're not giving your best to this world, right? Like, you have to be the best version of yourself. You have to do this for yourself and for your family and for your everything. Like, you got to do it for the world, right? All right, man, I'm done ranting. I'm done on my soapbox, but I think it's good every once in a while just to kind of drop in here, just to give you some love, some messages. And look, if you'd like to work with me on this and you'd like to learn all the tactical strategies and how to like start shifting your mindset, like if you want to work on a transformation and not just like, you know, I kind of get, sometimes it makes me crazy because people are like, well, you're like a personal trainer, right? And I'm like, no, not really. Like, we're much more comprehensive than that. We need to change your life. You know, I don't want to just sit there and count reps and clap my hands for you. I want to change your life. That's what we need to do. Long game. All right, rock on.